All right, here we go. Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. Last time we left off, it was a pretty interesting. So both Shannon and Jessica were on some sort of private conversation, and Jessica was most, more or less teasing Shannon, especially when George came into the conversation and make it so like, oh, you two should definitely hook up, and then you know it all comes down when Eva just decided to interrupt the conversation. Although most of the conversation within with the three is mostly just talking about the family loan and the such, just usual stuff, just the usual. There's one thing to really notice from Eva, and that is where you know she showed the passive aggression towards Shannon. Like like no one no one heard them. It was only like between Eva and Shannon. It just showed that Eva had, so it wasn't only Natsuki, you know, being a complete jerk. It's also Eva just showing the elitism and the pretentiousness of saying, "Hey, Shannon, l- learn your place as you're just a servant, and not only outside of that part of it." I think it's part of me thinks that Eva doesn't accept that Shannon shouldn't hook up with George. Also part of my theory thinks that Shannon is underage and George shouldn't do that. But who knows? You know, this this right there in episode 2. It's just straight up bullying Shannon at this point. Um, there goes the coffee going on in the background. Shannon was simple and honest, so she would always carry out her tasks seriously and properly without any omissions. So she was always slow with her work. In contrast, Lunan cleverly avoided doing extra work whenever it was possible. See, there's Lunan. Doesn't really show anywhere in the characters section at all. It's just, the 18 characters by default, you know. So she could complete her jobs with a result that looked almost the same to an outsider, but in a much shorter time. In other words, she was a shrewd employee. Compared to that, it's probably fair to say that Shannon wasn't very shrewd at all, talking back to Natsuki when Natsuki was in a bad mood. Of course, there was nothing that Natsuki couldn't stand more than a servant talking back. Her forehead creased, and she spoke sternly. And yet her slow, admonishing style of speech was even more terrifying, and finally made Shannon realize that she had said the wrong thing.
ならば、存分に丁寧な清掃を心がけなさい。シャノン、あなたにこのまま大広間の清掃も命じます。当主様の大切な絵画が多数飾られ、後宮家への賓客をお招きすることもある大切な広間です。埃一つ残さないよう、あなたが納得するまで丁寧に清掃なさい。もちろん今日中にです。それを終えて私に報告するまで、食事も休憩も許しません。
Now the thing is, if Natsuki is taking it out on Shannon, she's just she couldn't admit. I feel like she couldn't admit the fact that she just hates her.
わかりましたね。
はい、奥様。
結構。使用人はその言葉だけを口にするように。次の口答えには、より厳しい罰を与えますから、そのつもりで。 よく胸に刻んでおきなさい。
はい、奥様。
You know, I tried talking in my conversation why I asked around why Eva was like that, but they refused to discuss it because they don't want to spoil it or anything. But you know, it happens. Maybe they're just treating Umineko when they cry as like some sort of priceless visual novel of the sort.
ご指導をありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。
Behaving as though her headache was troubling her, Natsuki headed off down the corridor. When she couldn't see her anymore, Shannon hung her head and sighed. This was what happened when she had her head in the clouds. Even though I'm bad at everything I do, I should be able to at least carry out the cleaning as well as an average person can, right? It's because I can't even perform that very well that I'm crying so pathetically. But what's even more shameful is that not only have I been unable to perform a single bit of cleaning well, but just now, when Natsuki was scolding me, I imagined that person appearing and rescuing me. If only George-sama were here. Would he casually step in and save me? Surely he'd showed up cheerfully, intentionally acting like he didn't know what was going on, nimbly change the subject and make me forget I'd ever been rebuked by Natsuki. I kept envisioning him, suddenly appearing from the other side of the door, or the other end of the hallway. I envisioned the kind of person that would be an appropriate partner for him in a marriage meeting, and I envisioned how unfitting I was for him. Eva clearly told me. It's been repeating over and over in my dreams.
姉さんは相変わらず不器用だね。
Now, there's Canon. I wonder if he's still watching the whole time. Because from the previous episode, it stated that Canon hates Eva and Natsuki for how they treat Shannon, so...
奥様は今朝から虫の居所が悪い。
Well, no shit.
黙ってうなずいていればいいものを余計なことを言うから。
That just now happened because you talk too much when you should have just hung your... Wait. Whatever happened to sticking to her side?
カノン君。
It just made it sound like you're just blaming her because she was trying to, like, you know, she doesn't realize that she wasn't aware that she's a servant, you know. Canon was suddenly there. His footsteps were always quieter than a cat's, and he never left any trace of his presence. He probably could have stood there forever and she still wouldn't have noticed him. The expression on Canon's face was one of hatred. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, it's just what I said. He made that expression for Shannon, who didn't know how to do it herself.
奥様も、そしてルノンも地獄へ落ちろ。
See, even Canon said Lunan, like, maybe Lunan's gonna be showed up later on.
あいつは奥様がどこをチェックするか知ってて、そこしか掃除しない。さっきの掃除もそうだった。
Now the thing with Lunan is this going to be a character introduced later on, or is she going to be some sort of an illusion?
見ていたから知ってる。本当の意味での掃除なんかしてないんだよ。
She wasn't. So if she wasn't, is she just working in secret, and she's just a spy?
丁寧に掃除する姉さんに寄生してるだけの最低なやつだ。
そんな汚い言葉を使ってはダメよ。汚い言葉はカノン君の綺麗な魂まで汚してしまう。だからせめて私の前ではそんな言葉遣いをしないで。ね。
Canon turned away as though sulking. It was a reaction that hid his true feelings, which was very like Canon, but I was a little happy. He was getting mad for my sake. Well, no.
大広間の掃除は大変だよ。僕も手伝う。
ありがとう。でも、奥様に命じられたのは私だから大丈夫。カノン君にも自分のお仕事があるんでしょ？
汚らわしい仕事だよ。僕の魂なんてとっくに汚れてる。
Really? Bit of a shocker, to be quite honest. Canon then hung his head and bit his lower lip.
手伝ってくれるという言葉だけで、私は十分。カノン君も自分の仕事に戻らないと、あなたまで罰を受けることになっちゃう。
Punished? The fuck? Who cares? What the fuck are you gonna get? What the fuck we're getting punished for? What kind of punishment exactly? Is this one of those punishments we're getting spanked in the ass by some paddle or something?
そしたら、私は悲しい。
Shannon knew Canon's character well. Sometimes he didn't think enough about himself. If I don't refuse forcefully, he'll help me even if it means neglecting his own job. Canon was a little sad that his goodwill had been rejected, but he realized that what he was doing would only hurt her more in the end, and he gave a single small sigh. No
わ
words.
かったよ。姉さんも頑張って。
それに、私にも責任はあるから。
姉さんには責任なんて何もないよ。
ううん。あるの。だから、もう言って。
Well, either she has the lack of backbone, or she's just straight up a punching bag by the two higher ups of the family. Kanonkun's face showed that he still hadn't completely accepted it, but without being any more obstinate, he disappeared. Even though Kanokun came to give me words of comfort when I was down, even so, I was dejected again because it wasn't him. That in itself was a sin. It went far beyond any dream the likes of me could be permitted to see. I don't know my place. Shannon, who had neglected breakfast, already felt her concentration begin to waver. But if she didn't finish up cleaning the reception hall, she wouldn't receive Natsuki's permission to eat. That cruel Natsuki had surely told the kitchen something to that effect. I have to respectfully receive Madame's punishment. That's right. My position in the world is furniture, and I've been intoxicated by a dream that's beyond me. I finished cleaning the hallway and went to the reception hall. Oh, now this is a background I'd never seen. Maybe my hunger made my nose more sensitive. I could sense a delicious aroma wafting from the kitchen, even though it was far away, and my empty stomach was encouraged even more. Until I finished up here, I wouldn't get any soup. I just had to resolve myself to doing it. Several portraits were hung in the reception hall. Oh, there's the painting of Beatrice. In the reception hall, one of those I'm being stupid. One of those portraits was thought to hold a special meaning amongst the servants. It was the portrait of the witch. That wasn't its true name, but everyone in the mansion called it that. The name of the woman with elegant blonde hair, drawn as the subject of that portrait, was Beatrice. It was whispered that she might be the former mistress of Kinzo, the family head, and also that she was the great witch who had given Kinzo the gold of the legend. The witch Beatrice, master of the night of Mokujima, she was gracious to those who respected her, but she would surely curse those who made light of her. It was in Shannon's character not to neglect rules and beliefs such as those. So she thought of the portrait of her other master as that person herself, and always treated it carefully, treasuring it. And it had become part of her daily routine to tell the witch, who only existed inside the portrait, the secrets of her heart. She was furniture. Furniture doesn't complain, cannot complain. So she had no right to speak her mind about her difficult days. Well, that's the extreme harsh reality and the harsh beliefs that she has to follow. So she can't. So you mean to tell me I can't complain about the harsh reality I've tried to go through, but I can't use Beatrice as my therapist? Well then, is this some sort of torturous method, or this is some sort of case where it's just forced into masochism? It's like, fuck it, you know. Who knew? Like, I can't really like craft a theory with all this kind of stuff. All I can say is torturous work-life balance. She had no right to open her mouth and say those words, so she at least spoke her mind inside her heart. She spoke to her mind inside her heart, using words she couldn't say aloud, and protested to the formless witch. Of course, the witch didn't answer. Oh, I guess that's one way to do it. Just don't speak it out. Just, I guess, so you can't really just say it out physically, but you can say it within your heart. But even if you do that, she's not going to listen. Of course, the witch didn't answer, she didn't console, and she didn't laugh it off. Shannon can only interpret that silence as she liked, as though the witch was responding agreeably.
ベアトリーチェ様、みすぼらしい私の話を聞いてください。
As Shannon wiped the dust from the witch's portrait, she spoke that inside her heart.
私は確かにエヴァ様の言う通り、無能で無教養な家具です。人じゃない。だから、恋をする資格などないかもしれません。でも、だったら、どうして恋を知ることのできる心などお与えになったのでしょうか。
Good question. At that point, Shannon held back her tears for a moment. The sound of the rain, which had started falling, along with the chill air in the reception hall, made her feel as though her shabbiness had increased another level.
本当の家具なら、心なんかない。だから、人を愛したりしなくて済むじゃないですか。だから苦しまない。私も同じ家具なのに、どうして心なんかあるんですか？こんな苦しくて辛い思いをするなら、こんな心なんて与えないでほしかった。
なるほど。家具に心を与えたか。 あれも時には愉快なことをする。
I see that Beatrice has responded. The witch who never answered or laughed, answered and laughed. Was it my imagination? Was I hearing things? No, that's wrong. After all, the next words became a voice, and I could hear them, not with my heart, but with my ears.
人間は世界を構成する元素について紀元前の昔から探求を続けてきた。
Well done. Golden sneer.
古代ギリシャ人たちは風、火、水、土の4つで世界の説明を試みたという。
Oh shit, son. The four main elements. Is it safe to call it tetra elements, I wonder?
その後も数千年かけて人間たちはその4つにさまざまな元素を加え、
Okay, let's see.
5代、6代、7代、8代、12代とさまざまな解釈で世界を説明しようとしたが、
Oh my goodness. That is a lot to keep up.
唯一の真実である一なる元素を説明することはできなかった。しかし星の導きによって現れた一人の男がついにこの世界を構成する一なる元素を説明した。何かわかるか？
誰？
Shannon fearfully turned around. Right there, she existed. Well, would you look at that? A miracle has been occurred. Kind of. Not as an illusion, but as a reality. The contrast made by the lightning made it clear that this was no mere daydreaming.
それは愛よ。
Is that so? The witch at the portrait elegantly held a golden pipe to her mouth and giggled. She laughed at the ignorance that causes humankind's thoughts to stray far from the most simple answer.
その男は世界のすべてを愛で説明した。それこそが一なる元素。
Are we just having a lord dump with love here or what? Oh, Seiza. Traditional Japanese manner of sitting used for the formal occasions where respect is demanded. You kneel on the floor or a cushion with your legs folded under your thighs, and sit on your heels with the tops of your feet entirely flat on the floor and big toes overlapping. Position can be quite uncomfortable to maintain for long periods of time, especially for those accustomed. See, I'm pretty sure I've done this type of sitting position before many times back then. Does it say anything from here in characters? No, not yet.
男は最小の数で世界の構成を説明しきったのだ。
Whoops. Alarm going off.
なんとも単純明快にして豪快爽快愉快痛快。やがてその男の生まれた年は西暦紀元と呼ばれるようになったがな。
Shannon lost any words to speak. She thought that when first meeting an unknown guest, her first words should be to ask that person's name. But it's Beatrice, though. Oh, wait, they just call it the witch. But without saying anything, Shannon knew this person's name, so she refrained. So she refrained. No, surely it would be the greatest disrespect for someone who lived or worked on this island to ask this woman her name. No shit. After all, she was the other master of this island, besides Kinzo.
ベアトリーチェ様。
いかにも。わらわがベアトリーチェである。千年を経ても人がわらわを見て最初に浮かべる表情は変わらんな。
The witch giggled at how Shannon's reaction didn't betray her expectations. Shannon realized that she had met with a being that mustn't be met with, and she took a step backwards. That's where the wall and the portrait were, so even as she gazed at the witch's portrait was touching her back.
お前の悩みは愛ゆえよ。それはすなわち世界の一なる元素。つまりこの世のすべてだ。それが満たされぬということは世界が満たされぬに同じこと。それは穴の開いた水筒に水を汲み続けるのに似ている。汲めども汲めども満たされぬ永遠の心の砂漠。
So in other words, it's an endless hole in which you can't really fill up with what you need.
人間の基礎にして全てにして現在。
Okay?
わかるか？知識の実を口にしたアダムとイブが知ったのは愛だったのだ。それを知ったがゆえに人は楽園を追われ人足り得たのだ。すなわちそれは愛を知り苦しむからこそ人であること。心優しき娘よ。そなたは誇っていい。それを知った今、そなたはもはや家具にあらず。そなたは今こそ人間なのだ。我が名にかけてそれを認めようぞ。
Oh, hey, that's the similar life advice that Kinzo gave to Natsuki. Like, you know, bit of an interesting comparison right there. She has no words.
凡庸の身には理解もつらき話か。まあよいわ。許すがいい。久しぶりに人間と話すのでな。饒舌が過ぎたことを謝ろう。
Without waiting for a reply from Shannon, Beatrice laughed pleasantly for a while.
詫びと言ってはなんだが、わらわの力で そなたのその願望を叶えてやってもよいぞ。
Wait, what? Oh, you're gonna do something to fix that problem? Shannon's problem? The meaning of those words surprised Shannon even more than the witch's sudden appearance.
そなたを思い人と添い遂げさせてやってもよいと言っている。
Bring Shannon and the one. So I'm assuming the one is George.
本来ならばそれに見合うだけの対価を要求するところだが。
Oh, this should be easy. Surely it can't go wrong.
わらわは機嫌が良い。それにそなたはわらわへの礼を欠かさず今日までよく尽くした。それへの褒美としてやってもよい。
Feels good, man.
本当ですか？
Normally, Shannon would have been shocked and struck dumb by this seemingly impossible guest. However, almost as though she was already under the witch's spell, Shannon responded.
わらわの魔法にかかれば思い人と結ばれるように取り計らうなど造作もない。
Yes, of course. Shannon almost said that without thinking, but held back with her last bit of common sense. After all, this is a witch, a sinister being. Yeah, because, Shannon couldn't accept a deal by something this shady, especially from a witch, but, supposedly with that antagonistic smug of hers. The witch Beatrice is clearly trying to slip in through the cracks in my heart and take me prisoner. It's like, oh boy, Shannon, just don't do this. Don't fall for that sort of bait. That sort of temptation, which so many fairy tale picture books warned me about when I was young, is right in front of me now.
イフもまた敬いの一つよ。心地よくはあるが、これでは拉致が開かぬな。わらわは確かに、そなたらが意味嫌う魔女像から離れはせぬ。
I feel like part of this dialogue has a similar reference to it. Is this like a similar reference to Cinderella or something? Because I'm pretty sure this story will look familiar where Shannon was like treated like very horribly, just like it's similar like to the Cinderella fairy tale or something like that. Like I'm pretty sure I could be wrong.
だが、わらわは敬う者には好意を返す。
Although the concept of the stories are different, but I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, I need to fulfill some sort of wish to fix my problem or something like that.
それは人間も同じであろう。
I guess.
そのように身構えられて好意を返せる人間もまたおらぬと思うがな。
失礼しました。そんなつもりは。
Shannon eventually realized how rude she was acting towards this guest, and she finally digested the words that had been spoken to her for a short while ago. You are no longer furniture, now you are human. As she reflected upon those words, Shannon felt as though the witch understood all her worries.
さっきの 褒美の話って何ですか？
お前がその心を虜にする男と結ばれるように取り計らってもいいと言っている。わらわの肖像画を日々丹念に磨いてくれたことへの礼とでも思うがよい。安心せよ。対価は求めぬ。
I don't know about that.
わらわは気前がよい。だがな、対価は求めぬが頼みがある。
You ask for nothing in return, but you want to do me a favor. Oh man. So, however, I do have. Oh boy. Look, here it comes. Part of Shannon's heart sent her a warning. This is what all those scary picture books she read when she was little had warned her about.
この島のすぐ近くの海に岩が覗き、そこに小さな鳥居と祠が設けてあるのを知っているか
？So, here's what I think right here. I think Beatrice is giving Shannon a favor to destroy the Torii and end the shrine itself. Shannon immediately remembered it. When you reached Rokinjima by boat, there was a torii and a shrine on a reef that was too small to be called even an islet? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kumasawa-san told me its history, but I can't remember it well. A traveling Shugenja, a kind of holy man, had built it or prayed there or something. Or something.
知っていますが、それが何か？
Why are you bringing it up? What, are you telling me to go over there and see if it exists and destroy it?
魔に通じぬものに一から説明はせぬ。早い話がだな。あれには参っておるのだ。
It's causing. Oh, there it is. It says it's causing her trouble. You know what this means. You know what that means.
実はな、あの祠の中にある鏡が収められている。
Oh my god. I think that happened with the prologue. Because it said like, oh, what does that got to do with the mirror? Well, I guess the prologue was kind of hinting that, like, that she was told to do this, and this is where right here, like, oh my goodness. I guess she was told to do it instead of her doing it by her own.
それをそなたに割ってほしいというのだ。
Oh my god, I knew it. I said there was like that she was getting told that she's going to vandalize it, and then there it is. It was quite a suspicious request. Shannon didn't know the details, but anything stored inside a shrine would have to be something sacred. And she wants me to break it? Why would a witch ask a human for help instead of doing it herself? So, Beatrice doesn't want to break it because I'm pretty sure she'll get get hit by the repellent of the shrine. I don't know. There was no need for Shannon to speak her thoughts aloud. Beatrice responded to Shannon's reasonable doubt before Shannon could give her answer.
あの鏡の魔力はわらわの魔力と相対する。
Oh, okay. I guess, the magical power of the mirror. I said to repel. I guess you could say oppose. Opposes against the witch.
人の言葉でうまく説明できぬな。例えれば、食器の違いとでも言おうか。あの鏡はフォークで、わらわの力はスープなのだ。
The mirror is a fork and your power is soup?
フォークでスープは飲めまい？
No kidding.
あの鏡の押し付けさえなければ、わらわはスープを飲むのにぴったりのスプーンが用意できるというわけだ。
I was gonna say spork, but I'm not sure if sporks even exist in the mid-80s, so... If the mirror is gone, you could produce a spoon ideal for drinking the soup. What? Well then.
それさえあれば、スープも飲めるし、岩ろうだって掘り抜けるぞ。
Oh. So the shrine is your prison, and you want to be free in order to cause havoc.
目玉だってえぐり貫ける。だったか？
Oh. Okay. So that was even a repeat of this, especially when it was like said in the prologue beforehand.
何の話かわかりません。私の無教養のせいだとしたら謝ります。
こういうことだ。あの忌々しい鏡をわらわのために割る手間をかけてくれたなら、その褒美としてそなたの願いを叶えてやるということだ。今日のわらわは本当に機嫌がいい。そなたが望むなら願い事を変えて金蔵に授けた黄金を丸ごとくれてやることにしてもよいぞ。
That means Shannon can actually retire from her servant duties. But so Beatrice requesting Shannon of doing something very poorly and improper to where she has to vandalize the shrine, which is break a mirror. And if Shannon does it, then she can fulfill her perfect, perfect destiny, or her fate shall be, desired as planned. Well then, and this is
お断りします。
Oh, she just says no?
なんと。
Wow. I guess Shannon wasn't manipulated as easily as I thought. I guess she does have some bit of common knowledge that she couldn't do something as evil. When she heard Shannon's words, Beatrice realized for the first time that her expectations had been betrayed. Is it worded as betrayed or disrespected?
理由があれば聞かせよ。誤解があるなら解こうぞ。
I doubt Shannon has some sort of misunderstanding. I feel like she'll be like, yeah, I think this is a scam.
理由なんて よくわかりません。でも、今日までこの島は平和で、何も起こりませんでした。なら、鏡を割らなくても、今日までと同じ平和が、これからも続いていくはずです。
So the island been at peace, even though your current lifestyle as a servant has been, you know, pretty havoc. A little bit too much, you know, negativity.
なるほどなるほど。それはもっともだな。そなたの言う通りだ。あれを割らぬなら、割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が、明日も明後日も続こうぞ。
The same unbreakable days that have passed until now will continue into tomorrow and the next day. Huh. I don't get it. Does this mean that Shannon just prefer her peaceful, normal routine and still get treated negatively by the higher ups, or do you want to like break the mirror and see how the outcome will turn out?
わらわが絶対の保証をしようではないか。
An absolute guarantee? So Beatrice is gonna like force Shannon into doing it. Is it like, you know, poaching her? I mean, what is she gonna do? What is Beatrice gonna do?
ベアトリーチェの名にかけて言う。
Uh-oh.
割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が明日も明後日も続こうぞ。それは永久に、永遠に。
For eternity and perpetuity. Oh my goodness. So you're gonna find so this is some kind of loophole that you're gonna implement. Shannon felt overwhelmed by an eerie illusion. The mirror probably existed for the purpose of restraining the witch. So if Shannon broke it, the person who stood to gain was supposedly the witch herself. And yet Shannon felt somehow that she had to do it for her own sake. It felt like some premise had been switched around.
わらわはあくまでも褒美としてそなたに思いを成就する機会を与えたに過ぎぬ。割ろうが割るまいがそなたの自由だ。
Oh, you're just gonna give me like a time limit to decide.
割ればわらわはそなたの願いを叶える。
Now the question is, what happens what if she just decided not to? Then are you gonna order someone to do it, or are you gonna force, or are you gonna guarantee, or are you gonna force Shannon to guarantee that she will do it?
割らねば今日までの明日が永遠に続く。
The tomorrows that came before today will continue for all eternity. Oh, what you mean is it's going to be the repeat of the same cycle, huh?
そなたの願いは永遠に叶うことはない。
Oh boy, what a threat. Sounds like, you know, endless misery.
わかるか？
Look, Beatrice, I don't know how I can word it from you.
何を言っているか。
No. So fun. Yeah, it feels great to like kind of mess around at times. Sometimes I usually try to explain what like it's like I usually just try to word it from piece by piece, but I can't really theorize. Oh God. Well, the organ's short. I'm just gonna, end it from here. There we go. All right, next part. Let's see what happens next during the conversation between the witch and Shannon. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you then. Have a good one.